Hey, on a very serious note here, did you see this dude that was impersonating a police officer and pulled over a car?
What the hell is this guy thinking?
And stole a gun?
Where was this at?
This is crazy. I saw this story on the Channel 8 website. A Tampa guy was arrested by TPD early on Saturday morning. He was caught impersonating a cop. He was pulling people over. The Tampa Police Department said that officers got a call about this suspicious SUV that had police lights, that had red and blue flashing lights, and it was being driven by a guy who was pretending to be a police officer around New Tampa Boulevard. A Tampa police officer found John Inglis, 26 years old, of Tampa, on Bruce B. Downs as he tried to pull a civilian over and get their license, registration, and proof of insurance.
What the heck?
Now, cops said when Ingles saw the real police officer, he gave the driver back their documents and walked back to his SUV. The officer then took this imposter, this fake, into custody. And then listen to this. As TPD was investigating, they found that this guy Inglis had been a suspect in separate incidents being investigated by the Florida Highway Patrol that very same morning. And according to the police, Inglis had taken somebody's gun and bullets after pulling them over on I-75. And a gun matching the stolen weapon's description was later found in this bonehead's vehicle when they stopped him on Bruce B. Downs on Saturday morning.
This guy's a menace, man.
The TPD said that Inglis was also issued an active risk protection order. It's extremely concerning, said Public Information Officer Eddie Durkin with TPD. Quote, any type of traffic stop of itself is a dangerous situation for a police officer because they don't know what they're approaching. Now, we do know that this person has a gun, so these officers were on very high alert. This is nuts. What was this guy thinking?
How are you going to get away with this?
Exactly.
I mean, what's the plan?
How long did he think that he could get away with this? So he pulls over a car on I-75. He pretends to be an officer there.
I mean, one of the questions must be, is there a weapon in the car?
Is there a weapon in the vehicle, sir? What do you have? You've got a car behind you. It's got the flashing lights, I guess, up on the visor and the dash or whatever. You pull over, and someone approaches your car and says, sir, do you have a weapon? And I guess through conversation, determined there was a weapon. And the guy takes the guy's weapon? You can't do that.
You definitely can't.
Well, listen, obviously you need to ascertain, if you're a real cop, whether you have a permit, if the weapon is accessible, if it's concealed, then you need a concealed weapons permit here in the state of Florida. Before we move on, let me just give you a little shred of advice here.
Yes.
That if you are ever pulled over by an unmarked car, or let's say, hey, some of the vehicles might be marked, but maybe you don't know if it's an official vehicle. If you're ever pulled over by an officer and you have questions whether it's legit, especially if it's an unmarked vehicle.
I had that happen to me.
There are plenty of unmarked vehicles. Hey, I rode around in an unmarked on Saturday when I did my Hillsborough County ride-along with Sergeant Jeff Catlin. I was in an unmarked vehicle. I'm not going to say what type, but I was in an unmarked car. That's what he has.
Was it a novelty one? Because aren't they all pretty similar?
No.
Okay.
What are you talking about? No.
Unmarked vehicles or what?
Nope. Oh. You might have vehicles that fit the profile of other vehicles that are part of the agency, but they have plenty of other vehicles that just they blend in like regular cars.
Like a 2002 Ultima.
That's why you pull over for everything. And this guy,
98 Saturn.
Yeah, really, seriously. If Sheriff Chronister wants to make a bid for my 2004 Lincoln Town Car, it's almost available.
But here's the deal. If ever you have doubts about getting pulled over and you want to make sure that you are being pulled over by a real police officer, call 911 from your vehicle.
I did that.
Okay. I want to hear. I want to. I want to hear Roxanne's story. Hold on. We have calls coming in also. I didn't even give out a phone number. But if you ever have a question about whether you're being pulled over by a real cop, before you open your window, before you do a thing, if you feel more comfortable, call 911. You tell the dispatcher you've just been pulled over. Here's my location. And the dispatcher will be able to find out if that is an actual police officer pulling you over. Andrew, what are we grabbing here? We're grabbing line 6. And then who's on line 6? Okay, all right.
Here we go.
Retired Detective No Name. Hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi, MJ. It's retired Detective Manson. I just want
Hold on. You said retired. I didn't hear what you said. Retired detective, and then what after that?
Manson. I was a corporal detective with TPD.
Oh, very good.
Just calling.
Yeah.
Just calling to let you know you're absolutely right. It's stay in the car, call 911. You don't have to pull over. That's absolutely correct. 100% what you just said.
And the fact is, if you're driving and if you don't pull over right away, if you call 911, that should shield you and protect you that you were nervous.
Absolutely.
And you call 911. If you don't immediately pull over, don't think that you're about to get your charges enhanced. If you're on the phone with 911 while trying to figure out if you're getting pulled over by a real car, I think that covers your butt. Also, retired detective, would you also agree at night, if you're pulled over in a very dark area, you also have the right to go to a lighted area like a gas station or something to that effect?
Sure, 100%.
And is it a good idea to call 911 and say, hey, listen, you're being pulled over, but you are going to a lighted area?
First thing, 911. Let them know your description, your car description, your location, which is most important, where you're driving to, and who's behind you, and give a good description of what you can see. That is the most important thing. Then that way they'll get units to you, and especially in the city of Tampa, there are units everywhere, and they will come right to you.
So it doesn't matter where you are. It's not just Tampa, but any police agency. Any police agency, if you have any doubt about who's pulling you over, just call 911 and give them all the details where you are and all that. Hey, retired detective, how many years with TPD?
22.
Thank you for your service as a City of Tampa resident. Have I ever met you over the years?
Through the years, I'm sure we've met off and on, but I just want to say it was an amazing honor to work for the City of Tampa for 22 years, and we appreciate you guys also with all the information you give us. So you have a good day, MJ.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you calling in. Look at that. We didn't even give out the number. We got cops calling in. Fantastic. All right, you got the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. We've got the $50 PDQ gift card. We'll give that away sometime this morning. Also, in 19 minutes at 8 o'clock, we'll give you the Q105 1K song of the day. We will give you the song title. It'll play between 9 and 5 today. When you hear the song, you just be caller 7. You win $1,000 right here on Q105. Was there? Roxanne, your story.
Yes.
All right,
so
quickly, your story. What happened?
I was in my 20s. I was driving home one night. It was pretty late, and I did like a cut-through road. Instead of Tampa Road, there's a cut-through road in Oldsmar, and I was pulled over. It's a dark road with warehouses and stuff, and I was pulled over.
Is that Ramshackle Drive?
It's Ramshackle Drive.
That's what I thought.
Yes, you know exactly where I'm talking about. And this police officer pulled me over, and the 3 reasons that I didn't feel comfortable is, number 1, he wouldn't tell me why he pulled me over. Number 2, it was that kind of dark, unlit road. And number 3, his fingernails were long when he reached in to get my license from me. And I was like, why do you have such long fingernails for a police officer? I don't know. I felt like they should be shorter.
What big ears you have.
Officer Nosferatu, nice to meet you.
So I called 911 and I said, I don't believe that you're a real police officer. And I called another police
How
officer.
offensive.
Wait a minute.
Were you right, or was he actually like
He
a deputy or
was.
something?
He was, but it's okay because I.
What do you have, a blackjack dealer coke fingernail? What do you have going on over there?
I'm usually undercover drug busts.
What if he's a really serious acoustic guitar player?
Yeah.
He finger picks.
You got to be better safe than sorry.
He's like Esteban.
All 3 of your assumptions were false. It was a legitimate sworn officer.
Well, let me just tell you.
What do you have, Lee press on nails? What this guy have?
And they're pink, sir. I don't.
He's trying to work out his kink. You couldn't get him off before his shift.
Was his name Officer James Gum?
Yeah. I just had a bad feeling. And
Excuse me, could you step out of the car? Oh, wait a second. You're too skinny. You're not a size 16.
We've got to let you go.
just because he was a real officer doesn't mean I'm very pro law enforcement, but doesn't mean that my bad feeling about him was incorrect.
I wonder how many times that happens to cops. If somebody's like, "You're not a real cop," and the guy's like, "Are you kidding me? Look at
his whole uniform.
Look at my car."
Hey,
Sorry,
It's 100 degrees. I'm wearing a bulletproof vest. I'm a real cop.
But there have been
There's plenty of YouTube channels about fake cops. Though.
there are plenty of stories about cop impersonators. They grab the cop supply catalog. They got their whole car outfitted. They've got all the lights going on. They have the utility belt. You could even buy those bulletproof vests that say like police or sheriff on them. You've got many cases where people have impersonated police and have pulled folks over.
There's two channels that are great. Police Tube on YouTube, all about fake cops, and Froggy International.
Are they busting fake
all
cops?
about
Hold on. It's called Froggy. What is it?
Froggy International.
Fraudy. Fraudy. Fraudy.
Frudie.
Oh,
International.
Okay.
And the whole channel is about fake cops. It's so amazing.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
How much freaking time do you spend on YouTube every day?
What are you talking about on YouTube? About 6-7 hours.
Froggy International Operations.
Yeah, there you go. It's if you want to check it out, you really get to see about fake cops.
My God.